Greetings, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We are proud to welcome you today to Unicaf University Zambia's second graduation ceremony being held in Lusaka, Zambia. Let the proceedings begin by the Chancellor's procession joining me on stage. The procession is being led by Unicaf University Zambia's Chancellor, Professor Mpanzi Sinjela, followed by Unicaf University Zambia's Vice Chancellor, Dr. Christine Piri Mushiwe. In company is Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dr. Lamek Mwelwa, followed by the Dean of Academics, Dr. Nathan Msonda. I'll be your host for today's ceremony. My name is Nyamtuma Mwandila. I'm also Unicaf University Zambia's Academic Registrar. I'll request that we all remain standing for the National Anthem, please.
Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free, land of work and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We've won freedom's fight, oh, one, strong and free. Africa is ours, a land fashioned with and blessed by God's good hands. Let us all people join as one, brothers under the sun, oh, one, strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace is Zambia's sky. Like a noble eagle in its flight, Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free. Praise be to God. Praise be, praise be, praise be. Let's conquer nations, Zambia, Zambia, free men we stand under the flag of our land, Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free. Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free.
I now call upon Unicaf University Zambia, Dean School of Education, Humanities and Social Sciences, Dr. Abigail Tuchili, to lead us in prayer. Dr. Tuchili, please.
Let's pray, shall we? God our Father, how wonderful are the works of your hands. As we gather here today to celebrate a step forward into new places with new people and new experiences, let us not forget the blessings that follow us. We thank you for being with our students on this journey because you have guided and mentored them. We say thank you, Ebenezer. Thus far, you've brought our students. Your plans for their lives be according to your will. As in Jeremiah chapter 29 and verse 11, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Amen.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tuchili, for the prayer. We may all be seated, please. Today we celebrate yet another milestone achievement in our university's history and in the lives of our graduating students. We want to thank all our graduates, parents, friends, and families who join us today from all over the world to watch either online or on TV the celebration of this exciting occasion. We are overjoyed to be able to share the graduation ceremony proceedings with you from wherever you may be it at home, at work, or at some special place with your beloved ones. At this moment, I now call upon the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Christine Piri Mushiwe, to the podium to call upon the Chancellor to constitute the Assembly. Dr. Mushiwe, please.
May I be allowed to call upon the Chancellor for the University of Unicaf University, Zambia, Professor Mpanzi Sinjela. Please, would you please come?
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I constitute this gathering as an assembly of Unicaf University, Zambia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Sinjela, for constituting today's assembly. Having been established in Zambia in 2017, Unicaf University has already attracted hundreds of students from this country and the world, and we are very happy to present to you today 436 students from 62 different countries who are graduating in the following programs: Master of Education, Master of Laws, Master in Business Administration, Master in Public Administration, Master of Science in Healthcare Management, Master of Science in Managerial Psychology, and Master of Science in Web Design and Development. I now have the pleasure of inviting the Vice Chancellor for Unicaf University, Zambia, Dr. Mushiwe, to present her address. Dr. Mushiwe, please.
Greetings. The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science, Mr. Felix Mutati, MP, the Chancellor, Professor Mpanzi Sinjela, the Vice Chancellor, Federal, Dr. Kevin Andrews, the distinguished inspirational speaker, Professor Kenneth Muenda, the DVC, Dr. Lamek Mwewa, the Deans, Dr. Nathan Msonda, and Dr. Abigail Tuchili. Senior management, staff, and distinguished graduates. Today I thought it would be prudent to share with you some useful snippets of information to take with you as you navigate your individual life journeys. To help illustrate my point further, I'll be referring to a river which will serve as a metaphor and hopefully drive my point across. A river is a source of life to what is in it, what is around it, and wherever its waters flows. A river's course of direction may be manipulated by man or by natural obstacles found on its way. However, it does not stop. It flows on until it gets to the ocean or the sea. When it changes its course, any water bodies or streams out of the river's new course may survive for a while, but may eventually die or remain stagnant. As humans, we are naturally learners, intelligent in our own ways, and naturally inquisitive. Just like a river, we flow naturally, creating our own course or following the course formed before us by our forefathers, parents, society, or educational systems. Education is an attempt to operate the intelligence inherent in humans in order to increase their potential so that they become more productive more knowledgeable choices of living meaningful lives. Education facilitates learning, broadening our faculties and our horizons. Humans are creators by nature and meant to revolutionize the world, making it a better place to live in. Operating on our own, we can not easily impact the whole world. However, our knowledge can contribute to the vast body of human knowledge in order to advance the frontiers of humankind. We are sending you into the world well equipped. The paper that we are going to give you, the paper that you are going to receive today, is not what we are equipping you with. What we have equipped you with is the knowledge, the skills, and the attitudes. Those are the ones that are going to change the world. Unicaf University has adequately equipped you with cutting-edge knowledge, cutting-edge skills, and has set the tone for each of you to not only emulate, but to succeed as well. Through our unique model of delivery, Unicaf University predicted the change of the wind and embraced technology to change the way of teaching and learning long before the COVID-19 pandemic. Whilst others are still adopting and adapting to the new situation, ours is a well-established course, paved by choice and not just necessity. Unicaf University, therefore, celebrates you. You are our evidence of quality. You are our evidence of authenticity of this model that we pride in. So, go and make a difference in your communities and transform your lives and those around you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mshiwe, for that powerful speech. I'll just echo a few of her words. May our graduates indeed be a river that is flowing, never stagnant, and never runs dry. We'll now hear from Unicaf University's Vice Chancellor Federal, Dr. Kevin Andrews, who joins us from Unicaf Organization Headquarters in Cyprus via video link. Dr. Andrews.
May I acknowledge the presence of our Chancellor, Professor Bazi Sengela, and of our guest of honour, the Honourable Minister of Technology and Science, Mr. Felix Mutati, and of our guest speaker, Professor Kenneth Muenda. I also celebrate the presence of the Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Christine Moshibwe, and of our Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Lemek Mwewe. Distinguished and honourable guests, ladies and gentlemen, and soon-to-be graduates of 2021, it is my profound pleasure to be here in this virtual ceremony to offer my sincerest congratulations to all our graduating students who will have their awards conferred on them today. Whilst I'm very pleased to be addressing you on what is the momentous occasion of your graduation, I had so hoped that this, our second graduation ceremony in Zambia, could have been a physical event where we could meet, shake hands and share your success face to face. I had hoped to applaud and watch as your parchments signalling your achievement were handed to you on the stage in front of the audience of your friends, family and supporters. Alas, this cannot be so, and as was the case for our inaugural ceremony last year, this graduation ceremony too is a virtual event, and we remain grounded, many of us unable to meet. But we must harvest the day and celebrate to continue our journeys irrespective of the continuing challenge of the pandemic, and celebrate the reality that the advances in communications technology that gave us all access to study online also gives us the opportunity to celebrate online. And so here I am on screen, but with you in spirit. I expect wherever you are, you will still be able to celebrate, and maybe you're joining us with your family, friends and supporters around you, and they will explode with thunderous applause and cheer when your name is announced and your degree is conferred upon you. I am inordinately proud of how the whole Unicaf University community, students, faculty, staff and all stakeholders we work with have continued to collaborate, often going beyond the call of duty to ensure that our teaching and learning has continued undisrupted by the COVID crisis. And whilst we must pause to reflect on the losses and individual tragedies that the pandemic has brought to all of us in one way or another, today is the culmination of much hard work and dedication as you become graduates of our university. I take the opportunity of addressing you all today to provide an important update that earlier this year, Unicaf University at the federal level and through its individual in-country vice-chancellors signed the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Accord, selecting 5 important elements to focus its efforts on to build a better future for our children and ourselves. These include ongoing provision of quality education, fostering decent work opportunities and economic growth, and in so doing, working to reduce inequalities. We have, as an institution, committed to responsible consumption and production in all that we do, and in working in partnership with national and international organisations to advance the Sustainable Development Goals. Our efforts have already been recognised in that we were shortlisted as a finalist in the United Nations-sponsored Green Gown International Awards as Sustainable Institution of the Year 2021. We may not have won the international category, but being an International Green Gown Awards finalist is something to be extremely proud of, and I am confident we will move forward to provide further award-winning initiatives as a signatory of the UN SDG Accord. I'm also delighted to announce that our university network has recently gained membership of the Advanced HE, which is the single agency of the higher education sector for the promotion of equality, diversity, excellence in teaching and learning, and best practice in university leadership and governance. The majority of UK universities are members of Advanced HE, with an increasing number of international universities becoming members. There are 89 international universities in the membership, and Unicaf University is the only continental African university member. Membership of Advanced HE will support a demonstrable seal of quality assurance and enhancement of all our student-facing activity through access to the professional membership scheme. Through active, progressive engagement at Advanced HE, Unicaf University can also help shape policy and practice, and through this become a sector lead in equality and inclusion, transformative leadership, effective governance, and the continental champion of excellence in education. Dear graduates, I expect all of you will have a mixture of emotions today. Most of you would admit to feeling some considerable pride, elation, and perhaps relief at reaching your goals. And perhaps a touch of sadness and fear too of the unknown as you prepare to face up to the challenges ahead. You have much to be proud of, and the pride you feel today should extend to others in the virtual audience, for you have been supported by parents, friends, partners, and family. We congratulate each and every one of you and share the joy of your friends, family, and supporters at your success. I urge you to please remember that you are part of the Unicaf family as alumni, and we expect and hope that you will continue to share your success stories with us and continue your valuable contributions to the wider vision and mission of your university. Good luck, congratulations, and keep safe.
Thank you very much, Dr. Andrews, for your empowering words. It is now a privilege to invite to the podium Unicaf University Zambia's Chancellor, Professor Mpanzi Sinjala, for his address. Professor Sinjala, please.
The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science, Mr. Felix Mutati, MP, the Vice Chancellor of Unicaf University, Zambia, Dr. Christine Piri Mushiwe, the distinguished inspirational speaker, Professor Kenneth Muenda, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Mr. Lamek Mwewa, the Deans, Dr. Nathan Musonda and Dr. Abigail Tuchili, the senior management and staff of Unicaf University, graduates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, dear graduates, I pose a question to you. How prepared are you? The world is changing at an unpredictable rate. Not too long ago, the occurrence of natural events was relatively easy to predict. In recent years, however, natural phenomena are frequently taking place by surprise. For example, hurricanes, volcanic eruptions, tsunami, drought, flooding, many of these due to global warming and climate change. They are becoming more commonplace and appear to have even greater destructive force. Pandemics such as COVID-19, Ebola, just to name a few, have taken humanity by surprise and have gone on to cause an widespread destruction to the human race. As you graduate into an increasingly changing world, I want you to ask yourselves the question, what can I do to be of service to humanity? How can I help in finding the answers to the many challenging problems confronting the human race today? Many of you may think that such monumental tasks are too large for any single individual to tackle. Please know that this is far from the truth. You are more than capable of playing a role in confronting these global problems and making a difference in your respective fields. It is the effort of the collective will that truly makes a difference. Each one of us playing our part to bring about the desired change we wish to see. In order for us to have the most meaningful impact on our environment, the continued pursuit of knowledge is imperative. You are not done. I am not done. And no human being will ever be done with education. You must stay abreast of emerging issues in your field at all times if you are to remain informed and ready. It is a continuous process throughout your life. The solutions to national and global problems are to be discovered in your continuous study, research, and application of the knowledge you acquire. Keep this in mind. I wish to impress on you that the education you have acquired should not be used solely for personal gain and benefit. Here are some of the questions you should pose and answer for yourself. Why was I created? What is the purpose of my life on earth? Do I want to live the kind of life that does not positively impact on my fellow human beings? Is the reason for my existence to be of service to humanity as a whole? I hope you choose to respond affirmatively on the latter. In my humble opinion, and I put it to you, you are more likely to lead a productive and happy life if you view yourself as being in the service of all humanity. The myriads of problems afflicting humankind today can only be faced by the collective will of everyone yourself included. As you go out into the world, make it your most precious goal to contribute to the well-being of families, society, and the global community as a whole. Remember, we are a global village. Events taking place far away have an immediate impact on us, wherever we may live. We cannot run away from that fact. Working collectively together will ensure that we protect this global village against harm. I wish to congratulate you on your monumental achievement, one well worth celebrating with your loved ones and friends. Good luck to you, and we wish you great success in all of your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Singela, for that powerful message to our graduates. May the education you've acquired today, the qualification that you carry home with you today, be used not only for personal benefit, but also to be used for the change in the world that you're about to enter. Once again, thank you very much, Professor. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege of inviting Professor Kenneth Muenda, who will deliver his inspirational speech to our graduates. However, allow me to share with you a brief academic background of Professor Muenda. Professor Muenda is a Rhodes Scholar and Senior Counsel in the Legal Vice Presidency of the World Bank in Washington, D.C. He serves as the extraordinary professor at the Law Faculty of the University of Pretoria in South Africa. Professor Muenda holds, among many other qualifications, the esteemed and rarely awarded higher doctoral degree of Doctor of Laws from Rhodes University, South Africa, and a PhD in corporate law from the University of Warwick. Professor Muenda is a certified anti-money laundering specialist with management qualifications from Cornell University and Georgetown University. He has also previously served as the law professor at a leading British University of Warwick. In addition, Professor Muenda has been visiting professor of law at several universities in Europe and Africa. He is the author and editor of 21 scholarly books and over 70 peer-reviewed articles in leading law academic journals and law reviews. Professor Muenda will be joining us today through a video live from Washington in the United States of America. Professor Muenda.
The guest of honor, the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, faculty members, distinguished guests, and all graduates, it's an honor to join you all from Washington, D.C. for today's Unicaf graduation ceremony. Without doubt, the pandemic has brought us both challenges and opportunities. While this graduation ceremony could not be held in person, the internet has made it possible for us to meet, closing the distance between each one of us. The age of digital disruption is about creativity and innovative thinking, so we must all embrace the change and make good of it. We are now living in an age of constant adaptation in order to remain relevant. As you can see for yourselves, though we can't meet in person, you are free to invite all your friends, relatives, colleagues, neighbors without limitation, a thing that might not be possible for in-person graduation ceremonies. These are the benefits of digital disruption. There is no doubt. It has disrupted our ways of doing things. Like I said earlier, the pandemic has brought us both challenges and opportunities. Education, I must add, is priceless. You came to Unicaf with very little understanding of how your thought process was going to be transformed. And I kid you not, there is nothing as dangerous as an ignorant mind. And ignorance, they say, begets arrogance. The best cure for ignorance is education, not money or material things. You can still be ignorant with lots of money. until and unless you get some form of education. My dear graduate friends, you are no longer the same person you were before you stepped into university. Even the boyfriend or girlfriend you left at home is probably wondering what happened to you because your thinking has suddenly changed. It's not witchcraft in the university, rather it's education. Your university education prepares you to be inspiring leaders and responsible citizens with edifying and enlightening thoughts and actions. Your university education prepares you to behave and act in a civilized manner with utmost decorum. Your university education prepares you to pursue scientific discoveries whilst your friends are engulfed in superstitious rituals. Your university education liberates you from the shackles of ignorance. And nobody, I mean nobody, will ever take away that degree from you. That is why it bothers those who say that a degree is just a paper. They too wish they had that paper. And instead of hating, let them get inspired. Even if you do not find a job immediately after graduating, your degree will not disappear. That degree is yours for life. And you can use it anytime you want to find your dream job. Your education will open doors for you that not even money can open. Education and learning can and will take you to places where money can't take you sometimes. That is the beauty about education. You won't even know who's paying for you. You just walk in and find everything ready. The air tickets, the hotel fully paid for, the limo and all. You just walk in. That's what education does. Education is like love. The one without love often says, love is nothing but just an illusion. But the one experiencing love is full of praises, lifting up love to the skies. The greatest personalities ever in human history, whether in sports, politics, science, or otherwise, embrace the culture of continuous learning. They continue to perfect their art and their craft. Watch Muhammad Ali, watch Pelé, watch Bruce Lee, watch Mike Tyson, watch Serena Williams, watch Tiger Woods. Read about Albert Einstein, read about Che Guevara, read about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., read about Patrice Lumumba, Almika Cabral, Frantz Fanon, Nelson Mandela, Kenneth Kaunda, Kwame Nkrumah, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Plato, read about Aristotle, read about Karl Marx, read about Sir Isaac Newton. They all continue to perfect their skills. Even in Hollywood, some celebrities have gone back to school to get an education, despite having a lot of money. They too know the value of education. Some sportsmen and women too are now going back to school after an illustrious sporting career. Even the richest man in the world today went to university before he made his money. Education is a human right. It is no longer a luxury, as others might have perceived it in the earlier years. Therefore, I join you today, my dear friends, to celebrate your remarkable achievements. I also take this opportunity to applaud the university, the faculty, and the parents and guardians of all those graduating today for their respective roles in shaping the noble values of the graduates and setting the right learning environment for the graduates to accomplish their learning goals. Dear graduates, you have outdone yourselves with your exemplary hard work. Congratulations again and enjoy the day. It's your day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Muenda, for linking education to love. A round of applause for our inspirational speaker, Professor Muenda, please. We are extremely grateful and honored to have a senior government official participating in our proceedings today. It is a privilege to now call upon the Vice-Chancellor to invite our guest of honor, the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Mr. Felix Mutati, MP, to deliver his keynote speech to our graduates. Dr. Mshiwe, please.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege to call upon His Honor, Mr. Felix Mutati, the Minister of Technology and Science. Your Honor, please.
The Chancellor, Professor Sinjelam, invited guest, Professor Muenda, Unicaf University Chief Executive Officer, Nicola Nicolaou, the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Andrews, the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Mushimbwe, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dr. Lamek Mwewam, the Deans, all senior staff and management of Unicaf University, Zambia. Ladies and gentlemen, the COVID-19 pandemic phenomenon has either affected or infected all of us. It has caused the loss of life of many of our colleagues and loved ones. Almost every sphere of our lives has been affected, and new strategies on how to deal with the effects of the pandemic have emerged. Such strategies are meant to minimize the effect or to help deal with the pandemic better. I would like to state that through the new Dawn administration, the President of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Mr. Hichilema, is dedicated to contain the pandemic by ensuring that the majority of our people are vaccinated. Chancellor, it is no longer a debatable issue that education is transformative. It has the potential to transform the educator, the learner, and the social environment. Such a tripolar process is critical for development. Tertiary education is designed to broaden an individual's knowledge and experience. It has the potential to augment people's ability so that they can make informed decisions, be productive, adopt and adapt technology, sustain livelihood, cope with shocks, and become responsible citizens. Education is not a source of intelligence, but broadens the scope of knowledge. It enables one to critically revolutionize the world. The fourth industrial revolution is one such ingenuity. The fourth industrial revolution is driven by digital, biological, physical innovations. The revolution is spelling out the future of the world, which is grounded in technology. It has further dictating the direction of education. The challenges imposed by COVID-19 era has confirmed the relevance of the fourth industrial revolution. Learning institutions have been tested and are awakening up to the challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased that Unicaf University is one such learning institution whose operations were not disrupted by COVID-19 restriction because its model of delivery is based online. Education is not static, it is progressive, broadening knowledge of individuals, stimulating curiosities for better ways of living and sharpening skills. Dear graduates, let me address you who are emerging from a university that is sensitive to the current wind of change in the world. Technology is a premise upon which Unicaf University functions. It is time to stand up. The fourth industrial revolution is transformative. Mobile supercomputing, it is about intelligent robots, self-driving cars, neurotechnology and brain enhancements, and genetic editing. The era brings with it dramatic change. Some of you graduating here today may never have envisaged you could do a degree online from the comfort of your home, workplace, or anywhere indeed. You are the solution to those who remain skeptical to this model. What you do with your experience of technology out there will change someone to get on the bandwagon. You are the generation of the fourth industrial revolution. You are the smart users. Your brains are in sync with the fourth industrial revolution. I therefore urge you to go out there and demonstrate the relevance of the current skills, knowledge, experience, and attitudes. The entire world is waiting for possible solutions to our current problems. My ministry is guided by 5 pillars, and your institution is in sync with the 4th pillar that envisages upskilling for the betterment of our nation. Undoubtedly, Unicaf University has demonstrated that it is poised to greatly contribute to the digital transformation of Zambia through the adoption and application of science, technology, and innovation. Finally, let me thank the parents, the guardians who have supported the graduates in this learning journey. Your investment will be evidenced very soon. Congratulations and God bless you all. Have a great day and a great future.
Thank you so much, Mr. Minister Sir, for attending our ceremony and sharing with us such important information and wise words. And finally, the big moment we have all been waiting for has arrived. I know that everyone watching, graduates, family, and friends are waiting eagerly to hear their names or the names of their loved ones being called out for the presentation to the Chancellor for the conferment of degrees. The journey has not been easy. However, the long-awaited moment of the graduation is finally here. You have made it. You have made us proud. I now invite Dr. Nathan Musonda, Dean of Academics, to join me on stage to present the names of our graduates to the Chancellor for conferment of the degrees. Dr. Musonda, please.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present the names of candidates for the conferment of the master's degrees of Unicaf University Zambia in the following respective disciplines. Masters in Education, Akraft Ben Faida, Morocco. Alison Alex Tongu, Uganda. Babagana Yahaya Aminu, Nigeria. Chama Musampa, South Africa. Chantel Tara Duckworth, Zimbabwe. Christian Chukudu Modebe, Nigeria. Dereje Adugna Tieke, Ethiopia. Emmanuel Edogogo Etua, Nigeria. Fosat Labake Akinsanya, Nigeria. Gavaza Peace Mabunda, South Africa. Gideon Kwako NC Agre, Italy. Gisele Wimbo, South Africa. Ineba Lydia Dexter, Nigeria. John Ayedun Dada, Philippines. Kim Ruth Beoringa, Zimbabwe. Lindsay Young, South Africa. Lynette Windel, Malawi. Melissa Masai, Kenya. Mishek Matiola, Zambia. Mondukupe M. Amele, Cote d'Ivoire. Morgan Kondowe, Zambia. Portia Segau, Botswana. Shanoi Leslie Gento, Belize. Tanya Natasha Husbands, Barbados. Tendai Masombo, Zimbabwe. Sekani Lucy Mashimbie, South Africa. Virginia Mosisa, South Africa. Wajama Masota Andrea, Tanzania. Yogashini Naidu, Oman. Master of Laws, Awezi Peter James Siwa, South Sudan. Beatrice Ezekiel Hart, Nigeria. Ernest Chifita Makasa, Zambia. Hassan Mama Muse, Ethiopia. Lungile Joyce Sifiwa Nikosi, Dlamini, the Kingdom of Eswatini. Malango Mpumpi, Zambia; Michael Onyekubuna Uzo, Nigeria; Mongezi Menye, South Africa; Ogochukwu Chidebere Nweke, Ghana; Peter Osinya Mangeni, Uganda; Rukayat Oladapo Saliu, Nigeria; CB Jobate Bamiteko, Nigeria; Master of Business Administration; Abidin Osuntanyo Alede, Nigeria; Abraham Onio, Nigeria; Akim Tembo, Zambia; Adedolapo Olufunke Ogundoro, Nigeria; Adenkule Olabode Olopade, Nigeria; Adetola Faith Rasakwi Lao, Nigeria; Adeyemi Oluwatominsin Aderoju, Nigeria; Adenika Damola Adeniran, Nigeria; Adonijah Osim Anyego, Nigeria; Ahmad Jamo Aliyu, Nigeria; Aiwanonse Jacinta Okosan, Nigeria; Akim Omotayo Badmas, Iran; Akubweze Charles Ogochukwu, Nigeria; Allen Kaihura, Ghana; Alem Sintaheu Haile, Ethiopia; Alfred Kioleboga Pone, Botswana; Alice Gondwe Chualo, Malawi; Amdrada Patricia Lohana Baika, Saudi Arabia; Ama au Maweri, Yemen; Amogelang Edith Nathaniel, Botswana; Andrew Evenobose Osagiede, Nigeria; Andrew Nahim Fag Maseha, Egypt; Andrew Nyongesa Wanyonyi, Kenya; Andrew Senyonga Kutesa, Uganda; Angel Anang, Ghana; Anik Ravaka, Madagascar; Anaud Kiati, Saudi Arabia; Anton Mark Kiaririzo, Uganda; Armstrong Nko Kata Aseye Ahoto, South Africa; Unzo Lat Maima Bema, Gabatunde Abdugani Adegibindin, Nigeria; Barbara Ransolina Soya, Ghana; Ba N Morris, Cameroon; Basma Saba, Egypt; Baten Elizabeth Kuki, Nigeria; Balechui Deneke Jemamo, Ethiopia; Ben Mausi Akoto, Ghana; Ben Keneti, Zambia; Bathwell Vulinchwala Kumalo, the Kingdom of Eswatini; Busisiwe Zimande, South Africa; Karin Gaongahire, Rwanda; Caroline Haiya, Malawi; Cecilia Bwalia Wembia Sakala, Zambia; Chala Tumelo, Zambia; Charles Ehiji Eromosele, Nigeria; Charles Mlanga, Malawi; Chikezirim Oswagu, Nigeria; Chinazo Lotana Onu, South Africa; Chinedu Chimezi Ewelike, Nigeria; Chinedu Ogbonaya Ivi, Nigeria; Chipo Precious Mwape, Zambia; Chipo T Munjoma, Zimbabwe; Christine Nakangwagi, Uganda; Clifford Namdi Enwemene, Nigeria; Comfort Lumbwe, Zambia; Constance Cummings John, Sierra Leone; Damian L. Williams, Jamaica; Dennis Caesar, St. Lucia; David Ochokuk, Eke, Nigeria. Deborah Melissa Charles, Grenada. Dennis Motima Pyle, Guyana. Dineo Anita Marumo, Botswana. Dipen Kamleshbai Patel, Malawi. Divine Isimbi, Rwanda. Don Sage Hamaweja, Democratic Republic of Congo. Elizabeth Onyinye Chukwujeku, Nigeria. Elizabeth Mukele Omina, Kenya. Elizabeth Ann Ngoo Litumbe, Cameroon. Emily Van Zandt, Jamaica. Emanuela Richmond, Haiti. Enoch Anyang Nyako, United Arab Emirates. Enoch Mangame, Malawi. Erika M. Falangio, Tanzania. Eric Matala Milanzi, Malawi. Ernest Chama Mutale, Zambia. Esther Bernadette Busquet, St. Lucia. Fabian Mlenga, Kayula, Zambia. Felix Isaac Ohene John, Ghana. Felix Mulama Mbalasi, Kenya. Feloshadel I.A. John, Barbados. Gabriel Mautozi Hansen, Ghana. Garikai Zondai Sitole, Zimbabwe. Gerard Obeng, Ghana. Gilbert David Zimba, Malawi. Gorata Angelique Dintwa, Botswana. Grace Kelvin Ofongo, Nigeria. Guy Michael Togwem, Cameroon. Asina Usman Ndai, Nigeria. Hayatuddin Yahaya Ibrahim, Nigeria. Hebatara Reda Muhammad Bedelim Rashid, Egypt. Ibrahim Yahaya Aliu, Nigeria. Ibrahim Yusuf, Nigeria. Ibukunolulwa Oladuni Ajai, Nigeria. Idea Faha Kurambwi, South Africa. Erenas Emerwem, Nigeria. Ivan Ngabire, Rwanda. Jacob Ruben, Nigeria. Jacqueline Stonelei, South Africa. James Saktei Tete, Ghana. Jane Jamila Nakasamu, Zambia. Jane Kazo Madumadu, Kenya. Jane Salem Sami Lolas Hana, Palestinian territory occupied. Janice Lemet, Suriname. Jennifer Gashumba Hategemana, Rwanda. Joao Samuel Matabele, Mozambique. John Virima, Zimbabwe. John Bosco Chokuku Ezekwe, Nigeria. Jonathan Edou Oti, Nigeria. Jonathan Migogo, Rwanda. Jones Bayot Banabale, Ghana. Joseph Epem Esekon, Kenya. Joy Omoyemen Ehanire, Nigeria. Juliet Jackson Kakoshi, Seychelles. Juliet Kizanye, Uganda. Juliet Milinga, Tanzania. Kabwe Pamela Mlenga, Zambia. Kaemba Msonda, Zambia. Karamo M. Daboy, Senegal. Kariwe Water, Uhanga, Namibia. Cow Queen Yaya Vika Nkunku, the Kingdom of Eswatini. Kaumba Sakungo, Zambia. Kennedy Mukuka, Zambia. Keogase Gwabi, Botswana. Khadija Anisa Aden, Kenya. Kodwani Happy Arnold Dombola, Malawi. Krishna Scarlett, Jamaica. Christy Chirume, Zimbabwe. Kuzanai Colette Chipuriro, Zimbabwe. Uzonkanyingong Charles Kuchi, Cameroon; Roland Bryce Nzakana, Hungary; Lenis Zamangwe, Malawi; Rion Dingwall, Jamaica; Leleko Maine, Lesotho; Lightwell Kachingamba Benjamin, Malawi; Liden Rachel Teagalo, Uganda; Lindy Belkes, Namibia; Linley Banda, Malawi; Lovelo Kenneth Samolapo, South Africa; Louis Clovering Koho Hudson, Jamaica; Louis Lokunga Akengelo Lokuli, Uganda; Luz Waithira Macharia, Kenya; Lydia Bitlislin Ato, Uganda; Makatleo Elizabeth Makama, Lesotho; Maziviza Chimusimbe, Zimbabwe; Masho Kadozo Monteiro, Brazil; Martha Bayenda, Democratic Republic of Congo; Martha Machando, Malawi; Martin Motiki, Lesotho; Mary K. Gondwe, Malawi; Mary Nyahuni, Zimbabwe; Masiabata Letsasa, Lesotho; Maxwell Clinton, Liberia; Mbori Wilfred Fai, Cameroon; Meglan Kanda, South Africa; Mercy Ann Dongdem, Ghana; Mercy Julia Mafumo, Zimbabwe; Michael Kipta Nui Kimaiyo, Kenya; Muhammad Rezk, Saudi Arabia; Muhammad Isa, Ghana; Mande Itomu Samson, Nigeria; Morrison Akpevwese, Diasiriu, Nigeria; Moses Kiza, Uganda; Musiahwa Ramabelesa, Lesotho; Mpo Goisemang, Botswana; MS Manel Pitt, Lesotho; Mtumweni Hamza Kadege, Tanzania; Mustafa Sid Koroma, Sierra Leone; Mwaka Kopakopa, Zambia; Naklo Danlandi Zomisaki, Nigeria; Narissa Henderson Fachi, Malawi; Nathan Nash Zotovi, Ghana; Neke Divine Ndikam, Cameroon; Ndumiso Famandra Mchube, South Africa; Ngozi Gasil Eledu, Nigeria; Ngozi Okbwe, Nigeria; Nikarios Eoradio Newmount, Jamaica; Nkwen Zita Mbobubain, Cameroon; Nolala Mashinini, South Africa; Nyamachai Muhinda, Zambia; Oabona Futego, Botswana; Ogenekome Oreva Igbogidi, United States; Ogenetano Ererugweri, Nigeria; Okoli Raquel Beruchuku, Nigeria; Olamide Olawale Okunola, Nigeria; Olubi Kingsley Fadiji, Nigeria; Oluchi Victory Akachuku, Nigeria; Olubenga Ogunaike, Nigeria; Olumide Abimbola Odeni, Nigeria; Oluwasenfami Peters Ibuhule, Nigeria; Oluwatosini Samuel Okunato, Nigeria; Ompone Maylord Motogelwa, Botswana; Oripa Muzizizwa, Zimbabwe; Ojiogo Jennifer Iekuna, Nigeria; Papa Johnson Pongri, Nigeria; Pasco Paseka Petras Moswasele, South Africa; Patience Havana, Botswana; Patrick Luke Brijaraji, South Africa; Paul Goma, Zambia; Pauline Martin Mundwa, Uganda. Paulos Simon Sigwetha, Namibia. Pearl Savone, Botswana. Peter Mwesigwa, Uganda. Fas Mokama, Botswana. Fekane Ramarumo, South Africa. Pulani Innocent Masei, the Kingdom of Eswatini. Prince Geoffrey Mogukwo Nwaye, Ghana. Priscilla Nkeonyelu Agbala, Nigeria. Kumulo Muchu, Zambia. Rafiatu McCarthy, Sierra Leone. Raka Mustafa Hassan Badi, Libya. Ramra Chemonjes, Uganda. Raisha Latoya King, Barbados. Virwan Adebayo, Shorunke, Nigeria. Robert Atta Owusu, Ghana. Roland Michael Solomon, Nigeria. Rob King Young, Zambia. Rumizai Bere, Malawi. Samuel Adu Twam, Ghana. Samuel Kigechi Koechi, Kenya. Samuel Oluwayinka Fankuleng, Nigeria. Samuel Walidi Kanawatei, Ghana. Sean Akim Meja, Belize. Siniti Kese Weodiab, Eritrea. Stembile Felicia Fakuze, the Kingdom of Eswatini. Sophia Megameno Katiaka, Namibia. Solomi Jaririzo Nduhukire, Uganda. Saso Masayani Koyani, Liberia. Stanford Elo Sebiswegomo, Botswana. Stanley Onyebuchi Bezumezu, Nigeria. Stella Mutinta Svanjene, Zambia. Stephen Njue Muni, Kenya. Stephen Olamide Oluwaniyi, Nigeria. Suleiman Bangura, Sierra Leone. Sande Gabriel Aluko, Nigeria. Taiwo Olutoni Ojumu, Nigeria. Tamara Mafulirwa, Malawi. Taone Magube, Malawi. Tasha Chongo, Zambia. Vaziza Lawrence Vova, Zimbabwe. Chapda Eli Bertrand, Cameroon. Chonwi Noumba William, Zambia. Debao Mosito, Lesotho. Tirai Mukombe, Mozambique. Telaniza Nai Ashley Momo Ozai, Ghana. Tendekai Itai Sylvester Njanike, Zimbabwe. Teslim Olahule Afolabi, Nigeria. Thomas Amulunji Maululwa, Kenya. Tulani Nelson Shongwe, the Kingdom of Eswatini. Seso Lekela, Lesotho. Tolulope Oluwafisayo, Ekwe, Nigeria. Toela Mfune, Zambia. Chikofaso Talelwa, Botswana. Ubon Eho, Nigeria. Uchena Phillips Ulekuwa, Nigeria. Uju Nakwe, Nigeria. Valensi Chifundo Muenda, Malawi. Vera Velelalin Habedi, the Kingdom of Eswatini. Venele Egna Anna Joseph, St. Lucia. Victoria Weyulu, Namibia. Viorel Nelu Laping, German. Vivian Omolo, Kenya. Webi Mate, Zambia. Willard Kamurai, Zimbabwe. William Piri, Zambia. Willett Anderson, Malawi. Win Claire Wanjuru Mbiyu, Kenya. Winnie Rumizai Chuoza, Zimbabwe. Johan Mchiko, Malawi. Yvonne Kimengi, Mwanza, Zambia; Zainab Usman, Nigeria; Zelalemu Belahene, Ethiopia; Zibuka Kwibuka, Malawi; Zion Cynthia Sajalunda, Malawi; Masters of Public Administration. Abu Dokwewi Hassan, Ghana; Ahmed Hussein Hassan Ali, Qatar; David Segun Adeniyi, Nigeria; Denadi Senjinon Romaric Michael, Kenya; Edward Mebei, Sierra Leone; Emma Yang Osei Amoha, Ethiopia; Francine Rosanna, Rwanda; Geraldine Ajoko Anang, Ghana; Utuku Paul Maina Bema; Isaiah Pendu, Kenya; Jacqueline Namalome, Uganda; James Musime Ruranga, Rwanda; Levi Chinedu Eze, Nigeria; Mafunase Wupe Chimba, Zambia; Marie Stella Bunyolo, Uganda; Mamadou Ibrahim Kamara, Sierra Leone, distinction; Osamudia Brian Aibomian, Nigeria; Philomene Uwera, Rwanda; Rebecca Mawere, Zambia; Shadrick Kade Maunga, South Africa; Solomon Okifo, Canada, distinction; Stanley Collins Osembe, Kenya; Tarika Ahmed Muhammad Ismail, Kenya; Tawanda Pesanai, Zimbabwe; Vinson Keju Tani, Cameroon; Masters of Science in Healthcare Management: Abdurrahim Muhammad Yusuf, Kenya; Alik Banda, France; Ashley P. Kuma Monroy, United States; Barahedi Anna Mokugo Binyane, South Africa; Bernard Ojuko Manwanda, Botswana; Blanchard Mbangika, South Africa; Blessing Osago Mwendia Josiah, St. Kitts and Nevis; Caroline Jebet Chemweno, Kenya; Cecilia Wanjiru Ndungu, Kenya; Clarence Margaret Spiro, Seychelles; Connie Masete, South Africa; Edwin Juko, Uganda; Eli Mwetwa, Zambia; Amy Tiamike Ndovi Viyuye, Malawi; Esther Chimba, Zambia; Feri Pinky Masole, Botswana; Gaone Molefe, Botswana; Hussein Kasim Ali, Somalia; Inyambo Mulisa Zibiso, Botswana; Isaac Azar Peter, South Sudan; Jane Nyambura Gichui, Kenya; Johan Ihuaku Agu, Nigeria; Joseph Essien, United Kingdom; Julius Kenko Mtiese, Cameroon; Julius Maina Nduru, Kenya; Kerry Anne-Marie Hunter Iskombe Ni Hunter, Cayman Islands; Kimberly Myers, Belize; Lawali Muhammad, Nigeria; Levi Dennis Mwangi, Kanyari, Kenya; Ridian Jemasha Chebon, Kenya; Linus Neni Newville, Liberia; Najma Ibrahim Omar, Somalia; Nyaleti Joy Nyaleti, Zambia; Obina Nkama Eze, Nigeria; Patience Ozavisa, Samuel, Nigeria. Patrick Batusi, Nsutelelang, Botswana. Patrick God Oibo, United Kingdom. Paul Fala Wandalachi, Nabiel, Sierra Leone. Rosiari Jahona, Heri Nirina, Daniela, Lesotho. Regina Kumambo, Tanzania. Richard Forrester, Jamaica. Seipati Lilian, Pete, Lesotho. Seth Kapak Elia, Parakiti, South Sudan. Shepard Malambo, Zambia. Shanyei Karena, Glendalen, England. St. Kitts and Nevis. Siegfried Cosma Shayo, Japan. Siyabonga Mlanga, the Kingdom of Eswatini. Stella Bakira Sari, Uganda. Tajuddin Olaitan Ibrahim, Nigeria. Tokozire Kadango, Tomoka, Malawi. Ugochi Dala Ihesiaba, Nigeria. Van Madani, Zimbabwe. Jolam Chavula, Malawi. Yvette Amanda Atieno, Olude, Kenya. Master of Science in Managerial Psychology. Alfonso C.E. Chirwa, Malawi. Bilkisu Rim, United Arab Emirates. Charity Uka Kaspa, Nigeria. Emmanuel Adenkule Adeyeye, Nigeria. Eunice Achieng Orwa, Kenya. Henry Kasonsong, Zambia. Hisen Bagwasi, Botswana. Karen Awazi Shehu, Nigeria. Linda T. Mataka, Zimbabwe. Mama Hase Motopela, Lesotho. Marijana Milicevic, Serbia. Monica Erimafa, Nigeria. Oarabire Desole, Botswana. Oludare Kola Obadina, Nigeria. Leroboile Mpete, Lesotho. Sarah Mbeta Iguna, Kenya. Simison Chube, South Africa. Sifokazi Nchikana, Botswana. Susan Achire Ahaya, Uganda. Viola Karanja, Liberia. Master of Science in Web Design and Development. Abdulkarim Ibrahim, Nigeria. Abdulkamid Eshov, Ghana. Adusei Edward Opoku, Ghana. Bokere Wakiza Frank, Burundi. Chimzi George Ochuku, Nigeria. Drew Beverly Dennis, Mozambique. Emmanuel Oyeji Olowoyo, Nigeria. Emmanuel Otieno Otiu, Kenya. Gayu Babatunde Oladimeji, Nigeria. Hassan Ali Ahmed, Saudi Arabia. Imran Rashid, Pakistan. Lucky Oyonkule Ogdan, Nigeria. Mario Dominique Modese, Trinidad and Tobago. Michael Ade Otaru, Nigeria. Oladipo Adeleke Ahaj, Nigeria. Osei Antwi, Ghana. Rita Eberechi Onyejua, Nigeria. Robel Tesiafeye Tufa, Ethiopia. Sao Brown Ong, Maima Bema. Segun Adeshina, Nigeria. Seriban Matthew, United States. And Samto Auvena Ogoma, Ogamba, Nigeria. Mr. Chancellor Sir, I have the honor to request you to confer the master's degrees of Unicaf University Zambia in the respective discipline to those candidates whose names have been presented to you.
By the power vested in me, I confer on the names presented to me individually and severally the master's degree of the Unicaf University Zambia.
Thank you very much, Professor. To you, our graduates, we send our heartfelt congratulations on your achievement. We are confident that this is not the end of your academic journey with us. We look forward to engaging you in furthering your studies with us. We strongly encourage you to join the Unicaf alumni for continuous academic and professional interactions with your peers in Zambia and in other countries. This is important for building your global professional network. Once again, congratulations. While other institutions were forced to shut down to put their student studies on hold during the pandemic, Unicaf University continued to operate normally by switching all its courses to online delivery and helping students to complete their degrees as scheduled. Online learning is very convenient for working professionals, people living in remote areas, and people with physical disabilities who wish to earn higher degrees to advance in their careers. As pioneers of online education in Zambia, Unicaf University pursues excellence in teaching as well as in student achievement and satisfaction in a continually progressing academic environment. Unicaf University Zambia is accredited internationally by the British Accreditation Council based in the United Kingdom, while its bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs are accredited by the Higher Education Authority of Zambia and several other higher education authorities in different countries on the continent. And the best people to validate these claims are our students who are proudly graduating today. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it from one of our students, Mr. Chala Tumelo, who is representing the graduating students in Zambia. Mr. Tumelo, please.
The guest of honor, the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, and the Deputy Vice Chancellor, senior management staff, and all faculty members, distinguished guests, and fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I am deeply humbled by the opportunity to give this speech on behalf of the 2021 graduates of Unicaf University Zambia. Firstly, I would like to thank our keynote speakers, the honorable guest speaker, our motivational speaker, our the chief executive officer, and the vice chancellor. Your words of wisdom are perfectly timed, and sharing your guidance and experiences leaves us in awe. I personally remember the wisdom of the river. I think that will stick in my heart for the rest of my life. Your words are a composite of the image of height and excellence, that we would do well to emulate. Sir Isaac Newton once said, "If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants." The words that have been spoken to us today are words of our giants. On them, we, as graduates of 2021, will stand and go further. For most of us, the decision to enroll with Unicaf University became inevitable after we noted with concern the ever-growing demand of advancing one's skill to remain relevant in the industry. Enrolling at Unicaf was not an easy decision. This is because in 2019, online education was still uncommon in Zambia, let alone its acceptability as the basis for career and academic advancement was not fully understood. However, after obtaining adequate information from the university, like many graduates today, we learned that the model was not so different from on-campus learning. Unicaf University's well-organized administrative structure ensured that information was readily available to us in a short period, boosting our confidence levels as prospective students. With the advent of COVID-19, online learning was further appreciated, and Unicaf ensured that our students were not interrupted in any way. The world had shut down, but learning at Unicaf continued with no disturbances. This showed us as a nation why online higher education was not only necessary but inevitable. So, enrolling at Unicaf proved a prophetically astute move for all of us. Other graduates would likely clothe the description of their academic experiences through Unicaf University in different words. That is because Unicaf has addressed our academic and professional bents and specialties in very unique ways. Nevertheless, our common ground is that we are all no longer the same. On behalf of my fellow graduates, I would like to extend my gratitude to the management and staff of Unicaf University for their tireless efforts in ensuring all students received excellent service. To you, we say, thank you. Thank you. Please do maintain the standard and keep up the good work. Now that our academic journey has come to an end, we have become Unicaf's ambassadors. We will endeavor to carry Unicaf's name and flag high in the industry and beyond with pride and honor. We leave the university with a greater sense of achievement and ready to take the challenges of the marketplace and the world of entrepreneurship. Finally, to our families, friends, workmates, and everyone that spared a thought, idea, or information towards our studies, I would like to say thank you. You stood by our side and never discouraged us. To fellow graduates, I say, while the journey seems to have ended, there is every inclination that in fact this terminal is but a temporary stop on the way. To prospective students wishing to pursue degree studies, I say, join Unicaf. You won't be sorry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tumelo, for sharing your personal experience with online learning. Like the rest of our graduates, your decision to study with Unicaf University, your open-mindedness, your interactions with our team indeed makes Unicaf University stand out as a pioneer of online education. We will now hear from one of our international graduates who will equally share his personal experience with Unicaf University. Mr. Solomon Okifo will be joining us from Canada via video link. Mr. Okifo.
Good day, everyone. I'm delighted to speak today on behalf of all Unicaf University in Zambia international graduating students of 2021. Over the past 2 years, we've had the opportunity to be taught by distinguished academics. This has transformed all of us graduating today. And I'm sure that we're ready to go out there and shine. Also, the knowledge and insight shared by fellow students was tremendously beneficial and made this learning journey even more interesting. Now, it's a well-known fact that Africa is a land of potential. Unicaf University can help further develop that potential so that Africa can take her rightful place in the world. The high-quality education we have received has prepared us to become the kind of efficient and effective managers of people and resources that Africa has long awaited. Ethics and accountability should be our top priorities. Without a strong sense of accountability, we cannot expect good results. I appeal to African leaders, present and future, to promote a culture of equality and uphold ethics and accountability. To enable Africa to develop to her full potential, we must uphold the law as king, and we must think about what we can do to make our countries and our continent great, and not how we as individuals can become great, irrespective of what happened to other citizens. Africa now has local talent, and I'm proud to say that. Well, they're well educated and they are capable. So I call on international organizations doing business in Africa to stop seeking expatriates educated above to serve in key positions. The graduates of Unicaf University are well equipped and trained to become leaders who can make a difference. Fellow graduates, should we have the opportunity to serve as leaders, we must adhere to the values that we were taught and show the world that we are the products of a great university. Let us be the light shining in the darkness. Let's look for innovative and effective ways to climb each mountain that we encounter. And let's always remember that only those who finish the race get the medal. With the knowledge and skills we have acquired, with hard work and with God on our side, we are bound for victory. One of my favorite motivational speakers, Leslie Brown, has said, when life knocks you down, try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. Looking up affords you the opportunity to look at the sunlight. The sunlight gives life to all beings, and there is an abundance of sunlight in Africa. Say this to yourself often: I am going to make it. We are going to make it. Africa is going to make it. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Okifo, for sharing your experience as our international student representing the entire graduates in today's graduation ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, the second graduation ceremony for Unicaf University is slowly coming to an end. However, our celebrations will continue beyond our screens today as we allow our graduates to interact with their family, friends, and beloved ones. We wish to express our gratitude to the Honorable Minister of Technology and Science, Mr. Felix Mutati, and our inspirational speaker, Professor Kenneth Muenda. We send our heartfelt congratulations once again to our graduates, and we wish to extend our best wishes for success to them all in all their future endeavors. We thank you all for following today's ceremony proceedings online and on television. I now call upon the Vice Chancellor to invite the Chancellor to dissolve today's gathering. Dr. Mshiwe, please.
Thank you very much. We have now come to the end of the celebrations. And like it has already been said, the celebrations continue. The graduates will be celebrating with their families. We are so happy and we celebrate you too. But at this point, I would like to call upon the Chancellor to dissolve this assembly. Professor, please.
By virtue of the power vested in me, I now dissolve this gathering as an assembly of Unicaf University Zambia. Thank you.
We'll have our closing prayer and will be led by the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dr. Lamek Mwelwa. Thereafter, we'll request that we all remain standing for the National Anthem as the Chancellor's procession is taking their leave. Thank you very much.
Let us pray. Our God and our Father in heaven, we want to give thanks for leading us today. Thank you, Father, for guiding us through this ceremony. I pray, Lord, that you continue with our graduates, guide them, protect them, O God, from temptations as they go in the workplaces. That, Father, they may excel beyond our expectation to the glory and honor of your holy name. We thank you through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mwelwa. Ladies and gentlemen, I request that we remain standing for the National Anthem.
Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free, land of work and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We've won freedom's fight, oh, one, strong and free. Africa is ours, a land fashioned with and blessed by God's good hands. Let us all people join as one, brothers under the sun, oh, one, strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace is Zambia's skies, like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free. Praise be to God. Praise be, praise be, praise be. Let's conquer nations. Zambia, free men we stand under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free. Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us in celebrating our graduates today. I'll request that we remain standing as the Chancellor's procession takes its leave. Thank you.